Well, you see the shots of the Humber North campus. It's a beautiful day outside, but it's going to be even better inside the Hawks' Nest. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Humber College, where Humber, they are hosting the Redeemer Royals in what should be another great OCAA volleyball matchup. Zach Benoit alongside my broadcast partner, Matt Hamill. And Matt, the Humber Hawks, they are dominating right now. 5-0 in the regular season. Redeemer, it's been a little bit shaky, but they're holding on strong. 2-2 on the year, looking to bounce over that 500 mark.
Yeah, Redeemer at that 500 mark. Not a bad spot to be this early in the season. You can kind of choose which direction you want to go, and if you can have a strong performance here against Humber, but that's easier said than done. Sitting atop the OCAA West Division standings, and Mohawk, another team undefeated with that 5-0 record. St. Clair, good competition there as well in this division. So Humber, one of the few remaining unbeaten teams. That's going to be a tall order for Redeemer. The Royals are led by, in terms of offensive output, number 7, Avery Surrett. We'll keep an eye on number 7 in blue here today. On the other side, Hannah Manners, Zach. That's a player for Humber I'm going to have my eye on. Number 10 for the Hawks. They're wearing their white uniforms today. Manners did not see a whole lot of action on Sunday's game. That was game 2 of a weekend doubleheader. But do expect Manners to be a big part of the strategy here today, amongst other really good offensive weapons for Humber. Kind of an embarrassment of riches in that department.
Yeah, and I mean, we can talk about it once the game starts more, but when you look across the board, there are so many of these hitters that are in double digits, over the 25-plus mark in kills. So it's going to be a good one. We can't wait for this game to get started. These teams, you can see, they're lining up. We're moments away from player introductions, national anthems, but until then, yeah, this is just going to be another good OCAA game. Like we mentioned, Humber 5-0. The Redeemers Royals team, though, they were one of 2 teams last year that were able to take a set away from the Humber Hawks. So this is a team that should be able to put up a little bit of a fight, but we will definitely see what happens. So we'll step aside, throw it to our PA announcer for the player introductions and the national anthem.
Humber Hawks! At this time, we would ask you to please stand up if you're able and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, your officials for the game. The line judges are John Lamina and Veronica Hernandez. The second referee, Ryan McDoom. And the first referee, Ali Sharifullah. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the starting lineups for both the teams. Firstly, for Redeemer University. Standing 5'10" from Linden, Ontario, playing middle, number 4, Joelle Lammers. Standing 5'7" from Barrie, playing outside, number 7, Avery Surrett. Standing 5'10" from Smithers, British Columbia, playing middle, number 9, Alison Stolte. Standing 5'9" from Melbourne, Ontario, playing outside, number 11, Rachel Annett. Standing 5'3" from Hamilton, the setter, number 13, Julia Koksonovich. And standing 5'10" from Stony Creek, playing outside, number 16, Alana Heidberg. The liberos for the game, firstly, standing 5'6" from Linden, number 3, Kayla Bowers. And standing 5'3" from Hamilton, number 8, Carleen Chikeli. The head coach for the Redeemer Royals is Kate Grossman. All right, Hawks Nation, please welcome your starting lineups put together by the head coach, Chris Wilkins. Standing 5'10" from Vancouver, British Columbia, the center, number 2, Kennedy Williscroft. Standing 5'9" from Sturgeon Falls, Ontario, playing left side, number 4, Caitlin Lobel. Standing 5'11" from Toronto, Ontario, playing right side, number 10, Hannah Manners. Standing 5'11" from Sudbury, Ontario, our number 12, Amy Connolly. Standing 6 foot from Hamilton, Ontario, playing middle, number 17, Rachel Vanderwall. And standing 6'4" from Ajax, playing middle, number 18, Amanda Larson. The liberos for the game. Firstly, standing 5'8" from Oakville, Ontario, number 8, Reese Sholed. And standing 5'9" from Muncie, Ontario, number 13, Chindize White Eye.
Well, player introductions done. We are ready to get underway of what should be, again, a fantastic game here. We talk about these two teams. You're mentioning some of the big hitters. Well, you got to look at a player none other than Amy Connolly as well. We talked about Hannah Manners, but Connolly leading the way on the team with 31 kills, and she has been a lethal weapon for the Hawks early on in the season. Manners, she's been lethal as well, but Connolly, even Vanderwall in the middle. Vanderwall sitting at 28 kills. There is so many Humber Hawks that are closing in on that 30 mark. They almost have about 5 to 6 players that are almost at that 20 mark.
Yeah, no question. Lots of high-quality athletes on both sides. We've highlighted a couple of players for Humber that have been playing real well this season. See how things go now that we're officially underway.
First serve right there by LaBelle, going wide, and it's the player we were talking about. Hannah Manners gets the first kill of this game and puts the Hawks up 1.
Well, in the words of Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, I told us so. Really, Manners right away showing some of the hitting power that she brings to this team. First point of the game, courtesy of number 10.
Service error right there for LaBelle, and even up here 1-1. And going to the line is Rachel Annett for the side of Redeemer. Annett on the season so far, 5 service aces. Good serve over. First ball by LaBelle. Cholette sends it over to Manners, who just tips it towards the back line. That's just lethal stuff again by Hannah Manners.
A combination of using smarts and skill, the heads-up play to kind of push that into a dead zone. But Zach, that was just inside the line, so very well placed by Manners.
Brings Brings up the tallest Hawk here in Amanda Larson. Her serve is a good one. The quick hit over, it was Heidbert right there trying to get a tip over the block, but couldn't do it. Hits off that tall pole. The setter, Coxon-Ellich, just almost had a good set. It was pushed a little bit too far towards that pole.
Yeah, you see Heidbert, a little, maybe some sense of frustration there, but see if the Royals can get on a little run, because right now their only point, Zach, has come off of a Humber service error. All those Royals want to get themselves established here as the Hawks jump out to an early 4-1 lead.
Humber as a team, and in the games against Cambrian, 10 service aces. They were dominant at the line. This one here, tipped over the wall, diving. Connolly can't get there. So Redeemer, they're hanging around, and this is kind of what we were expecting to see from this Redeemer Royals team. They started the season off, they're 2-2 so far, and it hasn't been terrible for them. They just haven't been able to get off to a hot start. Lost the season opener to the Niagara Knights, won their next one against the Bruins, won against the Fanshawe Falcons, then lost the last one against Mohawk. Manners goes up. Can she find the line? No, it goes wide. So Redeemer, they climb within one. Credit that last game.
Yeah.
Mohawk Mountaineers team, they are on fire this year.
Able to hand at least one set loss there to Mohawk, but ultimately the Redeemers losing the match in their most recent game, allowing Mohawk to continue their undefeated season. But for the Royals, Zach, it's been a little up and down, right? Starting the season with the loss, then a win against Sheridan, another win, and then a loss. So looking to get into a little bit more of a rhythm. Certainly the Hawks, got to give them credit for some early season rhythm.
Willis Croft right there. Hannah Manners tips it down over the net. And this is a player we've talked about and highlighted so much already early on this season. Kennedy Williscroft has been electric at the service line. We talk about players that are killing it when it comes to service aces. Williscroft is definitely one of those players. This one going towards our timetable. It gets dumped over, free ball for the Hawks. Williscroft back sets to Connolly. She tries to smash one, but it gets tipped up. That's over the net. Manners finds the hole, but it's kept up again. Nobody is going to be able to get there, though, for the Royals on the third ball. So early on, we've seen Hannah Manners not have to use the strength as much, but she's been using just the high IQ.
Yeah, and racking up some good statistics early in the game. You wonder, when all is said and done here today, what kind of output Hannah Manners might have offensively. Already 3 kills here.
Stolte tried to tip that one over, but couldn't get it set up. They go out wide. Heidbert hits through the wall, and that finds a hole.
Zach, we're going to have a second look here at not this most recent rally, but the one where Humber was able to score, but give credit for Redeemer. They were able to scramble and try to get under there. Look, a couple players diving for it, so good effort as we get back here. Just missed a point off the serve from the Royals, so a little bit of good mojo building in for the visiting team right now as they draw within 2.
Elena Heidbert right there got the service ace, number 16 at the line. Her serve over, good. Connolly, good first ball to Williscroft. She goes quickly to Rachel Vanderwall, who gets her first kill of the game, and she now sits 1 away from 30.
Brings up Manners with the serve.
Manners, the serve over, hits off the top of the net. It's bouncing, and it eventually does get over. Redeemer save it, but it's going to be a free play for Humber. They push it wide to LaBelle. The dig is a good one, but it goes all the way out of play. And credit Kennedy Williscroft right there, finding an open hitter, and Caitlin LaBelle on the far side.
Well, Zach, the CCAA has released the latest rankings nationally, and Humber still sitting number 4 in the nation in terms of those CCAA rankings, as another point goes in favor of the Hawks. So Redeemer knows they're coming into Humber's home gym, facing off a Humber team that is, again, one of the best in the country, and certainly done a lot to deserve that top 5 national ranking early on this season.
Yeah, they prove it time and time again, but that's just how this Humber Hawks team is. Heidbert goes up from the back line, and she can't find it. And Redeemer, they're going to use their first time out of the game. Hawks, they've jumped out to an 11-5 lead, and they are playing a dominant brand of volleyball right now.
Yeah. No question, and this, at times, the set has been very close, and Humber has consistently been in the lead, but now stretching their lead out to 6. I think a good strategy there to call the timeout. It's volleyball timeout, works miracles, Zach. We've seen it time and time again. Keep in mind, Zach, this is Humber at the tail end of their longest home stretch of the season. 4 consecutive games at home, this being the final game in that series. So certainly does bode well for Humber to try to capture. Make sure you make good use of those home games. And so far, so good. 3-0 in the first 3 home games here of this stand.
They've been dominating at home, and I think that's just kind of what Humber is when you look at their teams across all sports. That home field advantage, that home court advantage, it's a real thing with Humber College, and they have been playing a great brand of volleyball to start the year, and like you said, in the longest stretch of home games. The Redeemer Royals, though, I want to kind of look back at their game against the Mountaineers. They played the Mountaineers awfully close. That is punched over, and it's going to be a point for the Hawks, but this is how the game went for Redeemer and Mohawk. Redeemer won the first set 25-16. They lost the second one 16-25. The third set, it was a nail-biter where they lost in extra points, 27-25, and then the fourth set was another nail-biter. Humber, they're going for a play, though, and Connolly! Amy Connolly has been killing the ball all season long, and she did it right there again. Her team-leading 32nd kill of the year. Manners at the line still serving. That is just a little bit too hard, so that's Sales at a play. Surratt, the serve over, hits off the top of the net, and that's another service ace right there for the side of the Royals.
Yeah, and Humber still got to like their position here, Zach. Still with a 6-point lead. See if Redeemer can get on a little run here and take a bite out of this comfortable cushion the Hawks are sitting on right now.
Surratt, her 6th service ace of the year. Williscroft goes wide to LaBelle.
Wow.
Who sends a bullet.
Hachi-machi, that was a lot of mustard on that particular shot, and tough to handle, and a well-earned point for Humber. That's kind of an undeniable shot there.
We talked about some big hitters for the Hawks in Vanderwall, Connolly, Larson. You can't forget about LaBelle. That was her 24th kill of the year. Stolte, she swings but can't find it over the wall. Quick back set to Manners and a good dig by Bowers. They're going wide to a net off the hands. Bowers is there. Back set to and almost an opportunity there. Williscroft just pushes to the back line. Heidberg. They're going out wide to net again. Connolly and Larson come through with the block.
Yeah, great net play by Humber. Fantastic rally, Zach, and really kind of helping to highlight. We have a very entertaining game. Great back and forth here, although Humber is quite happy with how the back and forth play has been working in their favor. Up by 8 now here in set 1.
They go back out to Annette. She can't get a hit going. Vanderwall sets up Connolly, and she gets blocked, but diving in the back, it's over the net. The Hawks, they survive it right there. Redeemer trying to get something. Running is Stolte. Doesn't get a good hand to it. Bowers goes back to a net. She hits cross court. Vanderwall's there to get to it. Joust at the net. Won by Redeemer. Stolte went up against Williscroft, and she won that battle.
Yeah, Allison Stolte most definitely coming out victorious there up at the net.
Her serve over and goes right to the net. So service error. Humber get the ball right on back. They're maintaining this 8-point lead.
Substitution for Humber Hawks. Stepping into the game, varsity number 3,
Alex Shoega and Avery Bodner. They're checking in here. Shoega will go to the line here to serve.
Yeah, Bodnar is the second tallest member of the Hawks, Zach, standing at 6'1". So her and Larson up front. Larson at 6'4". Could be interesting to watch how those two ladies work the net for Humber here. Maybe some big blocks on the way.
We're on a little bit of a high rise, and I still feel short sitting next to the court looking at those two players. Annette pushes it over. Shoega is there. Cholette back sets it to LaBelle. Bowers gets the dig. They go back to Annette. She hits it off the hands of Larson and falls inbound. So the Hawks, they lose that point, and Redeemer get it right on back. Going to the line will be the setter, Julia Koksenowicz. Maksanowicz, the serve over. It's a good one. Cholette, good first ball to Shoega. She's going to Bodner, who's swinging and finds it.
Zach, it was a good serve by Koksanowicz early on to get that rally going, but ultimately Humber just excellent hitting, something they've done well all season, and now up to, once again, an 8-point lead here.
LaBelle at the line serving. She hammers this one, and it goes way beyond that far back line.
Yeah, it's one of those serves that gets away from you.
So at the line serving here is Rachel Annette, and it goes into the net. And that's been a little bit of a rocky start for the Royals when it comes to serving.
Yeah, Rachel Annette with the serve there by way of Melbourne, Ontario. I'm familiar with the Australia Melbourne, not so much here in the province of Ontario.
Amanda Larson finds the service ace right there, and this is how you know this Humber Hawks team. It's a little bit different. The serving this year seems like it's taken another step forward.
Yeah, well, so many dominant aspects of the game for Humber, you know, up front, they've been so strong. So to add a good service game as well, that's huge.
Big swing on the far side by Avery Surratt.
Bodnar and Vanderwall all over that one with the block.
Yeah, Surratt hits it into the block, and it goes out of bounds, so point going to the Royals. Riley Reynoldson coming on to serve here. Her serve over, Cholette, first ball to Shoega. Quick set in the middle, Vanderwall gets it.
So big play here, Zach, and this is now a very pretty position for Humber as some substitutions are checking in and out of the game here. Amy Connolly coming back in for Humber. Zach, you're highlighting just some of the excellent play we've gotten from Connolly here. Let's see if she can maybe play a role in putting this set away. Humber now only 5 points away from a pretty decisive first set performance.
Willis Croft, serve over. Good first ball. They push it out wide, back set, tipped over by Annette. Humber is going to get a free play out of this. Cholette goes wide to Connolly, gets blocked, and it's off the wall and out of play. Amy Connolly, that's another kill. So I wanted to highlight a player that we've been seeing so much action of in the middle, and that's Rachel Vanderwall.
Yes,
She
sir.
spent the last 3 years at Mohawk. Partner in 3 years, she tallied 308 kills. Serve over, it's good. Going wide here. Surratt gets blocked, but the ball is still live. Annette pushing it to the back line. Cholette hits it right off of the net, and it's tipped over. Diving on the far side of the Royals. They're still diving. It's over. And nobody could get set there on either side. Credit Reese Cholette, though. A player that, as a libero, you don't get a swing like you're hitting it that often, and she was in the backcourt and said, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Willis Croft, a soft serve, diving, and they keep it up. Hit over Heidbert. And the broken play kind of works out for the Royals, who get their 13th point here in set one. The Hawks, though, they are climbing towards capturing set number one, up 22-12. Hit over the first ball. They're going over to Manners, who tips it over and out of play.
And not going to work out for Manners that time, but she has been right on the money. Humber up by 9, and not a lot of room for error for this Royals team.
Hit towards the back line and sails out. Smart play by Cholette and LaBelle just to let that fly.
Yeah, Heidbert with the serve that time around. 2 points, Zach. That's all Humber needs to seal the deal here in set number one.
First ball, they send it out wide to Surratt, and she hammers it. It's going to be kept alive. Free ball now for the side of Redeemer. Back sending Stolte, and she just couldn't get set. That ball got pushed out a little bit too far.
And now the set deciding point on the line, and a good player to kind of trust with the ball to get things going here. Hannah Manners.
Hit up and over. Surratt hammers that home off the hands and staying alive here.
Yeah, Koksanowicz with the set that time, Zach. That's big play there as that keeps the Royals alive. But boy, it's got to be tense for the team in blue right now as they know they cannot afford a single mistake here, down by 10.
They have the right player at the service line in Surratt. Kept over the net. That's a big play by Williscroft to keep the play alive. Back set, tipped at the net. Vanderwall puts it over, so the rally staying alive. Bowers sets it over to Annette, who hits it cross court for Cholette. First ball good. They hit it to Vanderwall, and she finds an open hole. Rachel Vanderwall gets her 3rd kill of the day, and she has been red hot.
Yeah, and the Hawks, more generally speaking, have been red hot. As Zach, only 1 set loss this season. That came in an early season contest against Cambrian. But Humber got their revenge against the Shield as they beat them in 3 straight sets at home, and part of this long home stand here. Well, Zach, Humber now right back where they have found themselves throughout the season. That's up to an early lead. And see if Redeemer can dig deep, but ultimately, Zach, that was a decisive set victory there, 25-14. We'll see if Redeemer can kind of bounce back, regroup, and hopefully draw things a little closer in set 2.
Yeah, I'm kind of just checking out all the players because, again, we talked about it in the pregame a little bit. Humber, they didn't go out and recruit a lot of first-year players. They got a lot of transfers, and that's kind of showing that this is a very experienced team, a very polished team. And how about this? So kind of looking throughout all the players. Humber, they got a player in Rachel Vanderwall who comes over from the side of Mohawk Mountaineers and brings you a player that has 308 career kills. Then you go to a player in Amy Connolly, comes from Nipissing University. In her 3 years, tallied 282 kills. Caroline Klitsch, she came across the pond, you want to say, or across Mississauga from Sheridan all the way over here to Humber. She tallies 161. Rachel Odell, a player we haven't seen play yet. She's the reigning recipient of awards last year. She was on that all-rookies team. She tallied 240 kills in her rookie campaign.
Yeah.
And then how about Amanda Larson? She used to play for the side of the Durham Lords, and well, we know how good Durham's volleyball teams have been over the years. Amanda Larson, a player that tallied 283 career kills, and that just shows they did a great job recruiting players from around the OCAA players in the OUA. It just shows people, they want to come to Humber, they want to be a part of a winning culture, and when you bring all the pieces together like they did this year, it's looking like a good recipe.
A real motley crew, I suppose you could say, in terms of just how many different teams these players have previous experience for. But, you know, Coach Wilkins has really determined, you would imagine, that these players could all be a good fit. And, Zach, after 23 years of head coaching excellence from Coach Chris Wilkins with this women's team, I've come to just, I have a blanket trust of his judgment, and that is reflected in some of the championship success, or a lot of that championship success. You can really get the sense that this Humber team is looking to win the provincial championship for the 4th year in a row, Zach. Off to a good start here.
Yeah, and just look at the stats. I mean, Humber almost at 200 kills through 5 matches, 172 digs, and they're just playing a great brand of volleyball, looking like a very, very strong team to start this OCAA season off.
Yeah, that was kills, Zach. Humber is 2nd in the entire province in terms of kills, with that 189 coming into today. Humber's also 2nd in the OCAA in hitting percentage, so very efficient offense for this Hawks team.
You talk about the hitting percentage, it comes through right there. Hannah Manners hammers it off the wall and puts that one out of play. So Humber, they did what they did in the first set. They start off with a lead, and they have one of their transfers in Amanda Larson coming up here to serve. Her serve is a bullet off of the libero's hand. They're going to go to the side for Heidbert. She hits it to the back line. Good diving dig by LaBelle. They go to Connolly. She can't hit it over. She was trying to hit from the back line.
So evening things up here. It's going to be so important, Zach, you would imagine, for this Redeemer team. Head coached by first-year head coach Kate Grassman. You know, they really want to start strong here, Zach. Sorry to cut you off, but ultimately a service error. That's not going to get the ball rolling in the right direction here, but we'll see if Redeemer can keep this set a little bit closer.
Yeah, and that looked like Rachel Annette, who had a good serve right there, just sailed over the back line. Willis Croft, who's been an elite server to start the year, good serve there. Tipped down the net. Manners is there. Willis Croft sets it to LaBelle, goes to the back line, and LaBelle hammers it.
Another good point for Humber there. That'll bring up another serve from Willis Croft.
Willis Croft, the crafty lefty, good serve there. Annette keeps it in. They send it here to Surratt, and she finds the hole off the arms of Connolly, it looked like. Joelle Lammers goes to the line. We were looking at the lineups to start the game, and we thought, is there 3 sets of sisters on this team? No, it's only 2.
There is 2, and then 2 young ladies who share the same last name of no relation, I was informed by Coach Graspin. So the sisters on the Royals include Joelle Lammers, just saw her, Leah Lammers, her older sister, and also, Zach, we have the sister duo of Scarlett Surratt, great name, and Avery Surratt. Scarlett, the younger of the 2 in her first year, so one of the rookies on this Redeemer Royals team.
And Redeemer coming across right there. Stolte went up and got the block, and she was working with Heidbert right there. But yeah, you know, it's a family heritage up there in Redeemer. You bring the family on to play some volleyball.
Well, speaking of family dynamics, how about Humber? The coach, Chris Wilkins, his daughter, Taya Wilkins, in the first year of her Hawks career. So just to show some familial parallels on both sides of the court right now.
Vanderwall at the line to serve. It's a good serve. Almost thought it was going to sail at the back, but Redeemer hit it. Good dig by Vanderwall, but it sails too far. Redeemer are playing this set a lot closer. And again, this is a Redeemer team that played Mohawk, a team that is currently 5-0, very, very tight. They won their first set against Mohawk 25-16. If you let this Redeemer Royals team get hot, they can go on some runs. Cholette sees that, and that's great vision by Reese Cholette to let that one just kind of slide out of play.
Well, Zach, we're talking about family connections on both sides of the court. A lot of people don't know this about me and you. We're cousins. No, not actually.
Long distance.
Look at the horseplay going on the bench for Hawks. We've seen
press,
this one before.
Yeah, bench press is coming out again. The back set. Stolte comes across, and she gets the kill. I was partially distracted by the bench press. Because think about it, you know, it's hard to do that, especially with another person. Allison Stolte at the line to serve. Manners gets the first ball. Willis Croft, quick one to Larson. Amanda Larson keeps it alive, and that's the perks of being 6'4" and the tallest player on the court. Willis Croft a little bit high of a set, but Larson says, it's okay, I can just tip it.
Yeah, and that was ultimately a big point for Humber, Zach, because it was a chance for Redeemer to tie up the game at that point. Humber now 2-point lead.
LaBelle serve over, it's good. They go quickly to the middle and blocked single-handedly by Amanda Larson.
Yeah, that's huge. And if really Humber can get some of those players up front, we've already seen some great net play from the Hawks, but if a player like Larson can really get dialed in, boy, oh boy, that's going to make it real tough for Redeemer against this tough Humber team.
The back set. Ooh. Surti gets to it. LaBelle's diving, and she can't find it. How about Avery Surti? Excuse me, Avery Surratt, who has been hammering the ball.
Yeah, that was a very impressive hit. One more look here on our Hawks Sports Network replay. Set up beautifully here, and then just jumping into it.
LaBelle soft hit over. Quick one in the middle. It's bouncing, and it hits the back wall. Joelle Lammers comes through right there. It was a quick set, and Lammers just puts it to bed. Redeemer hanging around here with the Hawks.
Koksanowicz with the serve.
First ball good. Koksanowicz going out wide. It gets blocked. at the line, and Cholette tried to dig it out but couldn't get there.
All knotted up at 8 aside. Big chance for Redeemer to kind of keep this run going.
Cholette, good first ball to Williscroft, who goes to Larson. And, oh man, Amanda Larson, when you have that kind of height over your opponent, it makes the game so much easier.
Yeah, no question, Zach. That is really tough for a Redeemer team that needs to go on a run here. I mean, a player like Larson with such an advantage up front. Now she's with the serve.
Larson hammers that serve. Koksanowicz goes quickly to Lammers, and it looks like that sails out.
That was going to be touched, at least in the eyes of the official. And I think Hawks Nation, the players, and Coach Wilkins disagree, but the official saying that some fingertips grazed that one. Here's a look at the replay.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw anything there on the replay. In real time, though, I did get the impression, but inconclusive.
Manners tried to hammer that across, but hits off that top white line of the net. Bounces right back. At the line again, Rachel Annette, who has been all over the place so far in this one. Annette has been dominant.
Melbourne.
Good first ball there. Williscroft back sets to LaBelle, who hammers it, and it can't be kept alive. Caitlin LaBelle, that one clocks in at 120.
You got the radar going here. And that is a big one to tie this game back up. This is a much different complexion than the first set, Zach. Humber already had a pretty comfortable lead at this point in the opening frame, and the Hawks are now down by 1, so give credit to Redeemer. He talked about how hot their start was against Mohawk in that recent game against another tough OCAA West opponent. Well, Redeemer really looks like they're showing their best stuff here in set number 2, currently up by 1.
Well, evened up again at 12 after the serviced air. Humber will have the ball. Manners will go to the line. That was Joelle Lammers at the line.
Yeah, 11-11 as number 10 steps up to serve.
That's a great serve and a service ace, to say the least. Hannah Manners is having herself one heck of a season. Does it there again.
Carlene Chikeli was just put in a real tough spot there as she tried to get under it.
Team leading 11th and make that team leading 12th service ace of the season.
Yeah, that's huge. Manners just really flipping the complexion of this second set, just when a lot of momentum is building for the Royals. Another ace, my goodness, just kind of snatching the soul right now of this Redeemer team, and you wonder if a timeout might be in sort of
team leading
itching to pull.
13th service ace. Almost another one, and I think it will be. 4 in a row. She's going for a Kennedy Williscroft record here on the season. Williscroft had 5 straight service aces in the game against Cambrian.
And getting mobbed by her teammates there as they appreciate that really decisive serve play right there that absolutely flipped the vibe of this second set. Zach, if I was on the side of the Royals, I would have liked to see that timeout called maybe a play earlier, because it looked like, boy, things could have really used the timeout. Manners gets another service ace, only furthering the momentum for the Hawks. So very difficult now for Redeemer, down by 4, to really find a way to pull themselves back into this set. It's a tall order.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of climb their way back out. You just saw the Hannah Manners stats on your screen. Yep, she's done everything that you can quite literally ask of her, playing a fantastic game. But I think the thing that I like the most about the play, head coach Chris Wilkins, it was right before that second service ace, he looks at Manners and kind of gives her, tells her something to do. Manners looks at him and says, okay. She does it, executes in the exact spot he wants. They kind of shared a smile, and he gave her a little bit of a wink. That right there, you trust your head coach. He knows what he's seeing on the court. Wilkins, he's been doing this for so long. He's been dominant for so long, and he shows exactly why. So 4 straight service aces. Do we see 5?
Oh, almost, Zach, right away.
Yeah, that was almost close to 5 service aces. That streak will be broken, but the serving streak of Hannah Manners, that continues, and I guess she might want to try to rekindle a service ace streak. That's hammered. Bowers gets to it first. Koksanowicz going Heidbert, and they get it over. Cholette setting up the play to Willis-Croft, who goes to LaBelle. Off the hands, diving. Was Koksanowicz, but couldn't get to it.
Yeah, that's huge, Zach. You know, the timeout, we see the timeout work so often here. We'll get a replay of that most recent point. But for Redeemer, the timeout has been fruitless. And you know what, Zach? We just missed Hannah Manners serve it right into the net. So it's really only going to be Hannah Manners capable of slowing her down, as she'll head to the bench for a well-deserved rest as a substitution checks in for the Hawks.
Yeah, the only thing in the Hawks nest that can slow Hannah Manners down on serving is the net. Heidbert, soft serve over. Good dig by Cholette. The backhand. Connolly still somehow is able to get it over the net. Koksanowicz goes wide. Surratt. And the point's going to go the way of the Royals. I think they're going to say that it was Connolly that hit the net. So Redeemer, they're still staying in this. It's a 4-point game.
Yeah, and still a little bit of breathing room, right? Humber needs 8 points before they capture the set. So not a whole lot of time, though, for the Royals to get right here.
A little bit of a miscue by Willis-Croft. Not something we've really ever seen. It looked like she wanted to initially go right back to LaBelle and then kind of changed up her mind to go over. Maybe it looked like it might have been a tip over.
And that's another set to Connolly that just doesn't quite put her in a position to succeed. We saw that just a few plays ago, and now another point for the Royals as things really start to pick back up in favor of the visiting team, and now it's Humber that's going to call the timeout.
Allison Stolte right there went back up and hammered it down. So 2-point game here, and yeah, you mentioned it. You know, they were starting to build momentum, and that's when things can kind of get scary.
And there was a lot of self-inflicted wounds for Humber, right? A couple of plays at the net that just weren't really putting them in a good position.
Shout out to our DJ. You see he's playing some tracks that gets everybody bouncing.
Yeah, I see some members of the Humber Hawks men's team there sitting on the bleachers, getting ready for their matchup. Of course, we're watching game one of a OCAA Volleyball doubleheader. The men's teams are set to take the court at 8 o'clock, but could be slightly earlier depending on the wrap time of this one. But Zach, we haven't seen a single set lost by the Humber Hawks women's team here at home, or the men's team for that matter. That's made for some very quick games. Let's see if Redeemer can maybe make this a little bit of a longer affair. You know, the fans would love to see that.
First ball, beautifully done. Connolly goes up, and that's how you get the momentum back. Go to your leading killer in Amy Connolly.
Yeah, and much better set that time for Connolly. We'll take a second look, and this really puts her in a position to do what she does best.
Vanderwall, her serve over, it's good. Koksanowicz going to the back line. Annette couldn't connect there. Back set once more to Connolly, and she finds a hole.
Yeah, I'm going to call Connolly, Amy Connolly, AC12, Zach, as another big play there for Humber's Connolly. And that now puts the Hawks back up by 4.
And watching it, you know, there's some players that kind of have a cool little swag on the court. Connolly's one of those players. Don't let her get rolling, because when she does, she starts feeling herself. Stolte. That was a quick play right there where it's hammered off the hands of the wall, and Allison Stolte comes through again for Redeemer, and they still only trail by 3. Going to the line, Avery Surratt. Surratt, good serve over. Cholette, though, good first ball to Willis-Croft. She puts it out wide to Caitlin LaBelle.
We'll take another look here, Zach, as kind of lose sight of the ball at the end there, but another point for the Hawks.
Connolly goes to the line to serve. Hit over, good one. Bowers there to dig it on out. Tipped over, and that is Caitlin LaBelle going up to block it down. A high IQ play right there by number 4.
Yeah, this is a big 5-point lead for Humber right now, and Zach, so crushing for Redeemer if they are going to drop this set. They've had so many bright spots here in set number 2, but are currently with their backs against the wall. Humber 4 points away from heading up to a commanding 2-set lead.
Connolly, another serve over, good one, goes right to the newly entered in Leah Lammers. Hammered across the court. And how much you want to bet that play was set up by head coach Chris Wilkins. Sees a fresh player come onto the court, and they target her right away, make her feel welcomed here in the Hawks' nest.
Yeah, what a contribution by Connolly, and what an addition to this team, as you highlighted earlier in the game. Another great-looking serve.
Koksanowicz going over to Lammers, who tips it over. LaBelle hits it first. Joust at the net. It's initially won by Williscroft, but the ball's kept up by Redeemer. Diving in the back, hit over, and they're going to say the Hawks touched the net. Not sure.
Maybe Williscroft with the net violation, but just kind of was the indication there as the official blows that one dead.
Stolte at the line to serve. Hammers it down the line. Cholette digs it out. They go out wide to LaBelle off the hands. It's kept up. Redeemer just trying to get over the net. Lammers does just that. Cholette, Williscroft to Klitsch. Caroline Klitsch, who checks into the game, finds the opening down the line. Hawks 2 points away from taking set number 2. Caitlin LaBelle, her serve over, hits off the top of the net. Lammers gets to it. Koksanowicz, the quick set to the middle, can't find anything. Connolly just hits it to the back line. They go back to Heidbert. Cholette's there. Williscroft going down the line to Zakari.
Yeah, that's big, and now Humber knocking on the door. Checking into the game will be Kaya Wilkins with the serve, and we'll see if Coach Wilkins' daughter can put this one away. She's had such great play, you know, a first-year player, Zach, so always great to see those rookies be able to get experience and be able to shine. That time she's going to push it a little long. And we'll check out as back into the game is Caitlin LaBelle.
Yeah, just sent it a little bit wide on that serve, and the setter, Julia Koksanowicz, will be the one serving.
Oh, a little jump the gun, Zach. You can see
the ref is talking at the timetable.
Yeah, I leaned over the scores table there.
And now we're ready to go.
I think he was having some peanut M&Ms. No, I'm just kidding, Zach. I think he was conducting official business.
Williscroft going to Zakari again. Lexi Zakari back to back. And that will win the Hawks the set. They go up 2-0 in what's been a dominant performance to start this one.
Here's the final one to put it away. And you talk about a dominant performance to start this one. You could really say that as applicable to the season as a whole. Humber has started off so well on their way to starting at a 6-0 record. And that is quite the win streak to start off this season, their 5-game win streak. And Zach, they are well poised here at home to pick up another dub. We'll see if Redeemer can dig deep. At this point, their only shot here to upset the Hawks is to force a 5-set barn burner. You know, Zach, I think how Redeemer starts is going to be huge here in this upcoming set, but, you know, they're going to have to really put together a full set effort because at times Redeemer has given themselves the advantage, but Humber has just continuously battled and really by the end of the set put themselves in a very good position.
It will definitely be interesting to see, you know, what can happen here. Like you said, the only way for the Redeemer Royals to come back, they have to bring it to that 5-set barn burner. But hey, you know how we were talking about transfer players? Well, the player that ended the last set in Lexi Zakari, guess what? She was also a transfer player from the Mohawk Mountaineers. She came over after 2 seasons there, 162 kills in 2 seasons. She had a breakout campaign last year, 139 kills. She had 23 in her first year. But right there, a player coming over where, you know, not getting a whole lot of playing time early on in the season here, but she comes out in that second set, makes her reps count. 2 big kills, and maybe 2 of the biggest kills to kind of cement the Hawks in one of them and then set them up at the other. So good job there by Zakari.
Well, Zach, you notice just by the numbers there, some improvement for Redeemer, scoring some more points, but ultimately some troubling dynamics for the Royals continue to be at play. And that was namely Humber, despite at times facing adversity, just the Hawks able to just continue, pull themselves out of those holes and then quickly establish these impressive runs. But I think kind of the HSN turning point in that second set, Zach, that gave the win to Humber there was Hannah Manners, right? The series of service aces, timeout called by the Royals, and even after that, Manners continues to score points off of, or the Hawks continue to score points off of her serves. So outstanding stuff from number 10, a player we highlighted at the top of the show. And we'll see if Manners continues to be the X factor here for the Hawks in set number 3.
Yeah, she was dominant in that second set. I think that was probably, like you said, the HSN turning point, because when you look at how the set started, it was the Royals coming out to a hot streak. But then Humber, they call the timeout. They get that little run by Manners. The Royals call a timeout. They can't shut down the Hawks. They just continue to roll. They played a very smart game right there. Humber showing their depth, showing their dominance. Nobody can see because we don't have a camera on us right now, but Parra, you just gave me some great hand sanitizer.
Yeah, some eucalyptus, Zach, so it'll open up your senses and we will be fully dialed in. Yeah, absolutely. As this third set gets underway, Zach, we've seen some great play from both of these teams, some very fun rallies. Humber looking to seal the deal here in set number 3.
And Zakari starts off the third set. Well, why not ride the hot hand? Zakari ends the second set with 2 big kills, starts the third set with a service ace. She's at the line here. Hits it over again. Bowers gets there. Koksanowicz to Stolte, and it goes beyond that back line. So how about the start here for Lexi Zakari? And there's a last look at the play that just happened. Zakari, another hard serve. It goes straight over the net. Hawks are going to get a free play. Williscroft sends it right back to Manners. And Annette can't handle the hot heat coming off the arm of number 10.
Yeah, that's another big play. And again, early in the set, Humber just establishing a little bit of that juice and momentum. And who else but Hannah Manners to blast one at the Royals and put Humber up by 3.
Zakari, another hard serve. This one's coming out towards us, and Heidbert was crashing into the chairs. Lexi Zakari, you might be earning yourself a roll going into the season. This has been a hot stretch here for number 14.
And there you saw me at the top of the screen protecting the laptop as the Royals player crashing over in towards our broadcast booth. We've seen a lot of great fight from the Royals, Zach. They're really selling out to try to keep a lot of these up, but you know, I think Humber is just giving themselves such an advantage on a lot of these rallies with the kind of hitting power and also the accuracy. Again, we talk about not only accuracy and power, but efficiency. Humber, one of the best teams in the province in terms of hitting percentage.
Surratt just kind of tails that one out of play. Amanda Larson will go to the line here to serve.
Yeah, she's had some good ones. Got a service ace in her back pocket already this evening.
First ball's a good one. Koksanowicz goes to Stolte. She goes to the back line. Zakari keeps it up. Manners is going to dump it over. It's going to be a free ball for the Royals. Koksanowicz going to a net. Cross court. She finds an opening. And that gets Redeemer a little bit closer. Humber up 5-2 now.
Yeah, it was a solid hit. Just going cross court was Rachel Annette.
Stolte, the serve, hits off the net and just pops down. So Allison Stolte is going to say thank you for that one, Humber College Gym net.
Yeah, getting the friendly bounce and the visiting our gymnasium.
Williscroft goes across to Manners. Nobody went up to block it. It went over, but Manners did not get all of it. Annette hits it to the back line. Dig right there by Cholette. Right back to Hannah Manners. Pushes it to the corner. Sails too far.
Well, this is a good turn of events for Redeemer. They gone out to an early set deficit, but have now pulled back within 1. It's a big serve coming up from number 9, Allison Stolte. Try to even things up.
And Stolte gets the service ace.
Yeah, diving for it there was Humber's Lexi Zakari.
Another short one, Zakari, good first ball to Williscroft, who just tips it down, and that's the craftiness of Kennedy Williscroft, and you have to be prepared for it. She is so quick when it comes to these sets and so quick when it comes to just tipping it over the net. Goes to the line here to serve, the crafty lefty. Hits it into the corner. Koksanowicz tried to get it to Surratt, poked over, quick set in the middle, Klitsch. It gets hit off the block and right back at Humber. So it looks like we're all tied up once more, 6 apiece.
Yeah, Williscroft, Zach, of note, the only member of the Hawks who's not an Ontario product. Williscroft by way of Vancouver.
Tip stayed alive. Surratt goes to the back corner. Wow, what a hit right there by Avery Surratt. We had a couple players last year for Humber that were actually from Vancouver. Leah Serlin, who's graduated out of the program. To the back line, Zakari. Williscroft to Bodner. And Amy Bodner came down and smacked the net. She was a little bit too close.
Yeah, that was an easy call to make for the officials. We'll get another look here, and that was just some solid contact with the net. And so that automatically hands the point over to Redeemer. Zach, they're looking to maybe go up by 3 here, and if I'm not mistaken, that would be their biggest lead of the match.
Zakari, first ball to Williscroft, back sets to Manners, blocked, and bounces out of play.
Yeah, so some players there to try and get in the way of the Hannah Manners blast, but ultimately beating the block, and now she'll serve, trying to bring the Hawks back to even at 8 apiece.
Tried to dig that one out, and another service ace by Hannah Manners. Wow, what a game she is having.
Yeah, and for Manners, she led the team in service aces coming into today, and maybe going to add another one here. Yes, she will. Zach, another run of service aces as Manners is absolutely padding the stats here today.
Carlene Cicchelli tried to get to that one, just couldn't get there quick enough. Cicchelli this time, though, great first ball. They set quick in the middle. Lammers couldn't get it settled down. Point will go to the Hawks, and that is an IQ play again out of Kennedy Williscroft, who faked as if she was going to set it straight up, and she goes backwards. The defender hits off the hand, goes over the net too far.
Violation.
Yep. To the back line. Does it get kept in? It does.
Goodness gracious. And again, just back-breaking for the Royals. Another look here on the HSN replay. That is the Royals regrouping after another service ace by Hannah Manners, and Zach, a timeout called by Redeemer because they saw this happen earlier in the game, right? Humber just really get off to such an advantage courtesy of Hannah Manners at the service line. I mean, Hannah Manners has been quite the asset up front of the net as well. So Zach, I think fair to say this young lady right here, maybe our player of the match thus far. What an impact, and certainly not the first time we've seen her take over a volleyball game like this.
Yeah, she has been dominant to say the least, and really looking over her career numbers, this is just kind of what we're used to seeing out of Hannah Manners. Her best year came in 2022-23. She had 99 kills, but the thing that's kind of taken her to the next level is that serving ability. She's never hit double-digit service aces until today. She might hit her 3-year total, because I think today she has 8. 7 or 8, that would put her at 17. And I think her career total before this year was 20.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to, get the inside scoop. We'll have to maybe get in touch with her to figure out, maybe is this a part of her game that's been an element of focus. It's been quite impactful here in the season for the Hawks. She already led the team in service aces coming into today.
Cholette puts it softly over, and Reese Cholette's dancing around on the court. She gets herself a point.
Well, hey now, and Humber's good fortune continues. That time, again, it's the IQ getting it done.
Reese looks to the scoreboard, and another service ace. I mean, death taxes and Hannah Manners with service aces is what's going on this year. But Reese Cholette looked to the scoreboard, dancing and skipping around point because she has 1 kill on beside her name. That's a great serve again. Koksanowicz can't get it in a proper place for a net. They go wide to Zakari, hammers it down the line. Great dig. Over to the other side, Heidbert hits it over the wall. Manners, first ball to Williscroft, who goes out to Zakari. Off the wall, Lexi Zakari. Stay hot.
Boy, that's tough. You know, Redeemer did get a great play there out of Julia Koksanowicz with the dig, and that kept the rally alive, but Humber able to come away with another point, now up by 6.
Quick at the net, tipped over, diving bodies, and almost a collision right in front.
And that will put an end to the Manners magic here, but certainly a mission accomplished for number 10, and she will check out momentarily as in her stead, Humber's Sydney Keeler checks in.
And substitution for Humber Hawks. Coming into the game, number 6, Sydney Keeler.
Keeler comes in for Manners, and so I was curious. I want to go check the stats. That was Reese's first kill since 2022-23 before she became the team's libero.
Shout out.
That's hammered off the wall and out of play. But yeah, so that, you know, this might be a monumental game. That's Reese Cholette's first kill as a libero.
Look out, OCAA. Oakville, Ontario's Reese Cholette, such a valuable player of this Humber team, able to contribute, kind of setting her teammates up for success.
Kelly, a good dig there, tipped over the net. Klitsch sets up Zakari and finds the hole. Lexi Zakari. She's had limited action here in this one. Came on late in that second set when she's leading everybody on the floor right now with 4 kills.
And Humber right back in a familiar position, just absolutely sitting pretty up by 7. Little misfire there from Caroline Klitsch. The only 5th-year player on this Humber Hawks roster. And Klitsch has been quite a producer. I mean, you take a look at the stats, she leads the team in points per set. So she has certainly maybe not played as much as some of her teammates, but when she has seen action, has been quite a weapon for Humber.
Amanda Larson just hammered a kill. Bounced off the top of the head of Riley Reynoldson.
And as Larson now heads to the bench for a break, checking back in is Rachel Vanderwall. So my goodness, just so much depth on this Humber team, right? One killer comes in for another.
That's what I've been saying really all year. I mean, they can go punch for punch really with any team, it feels like, in all of CCAA. The dig there by Bodner, but it hits off the hands awkwardly, so it's going to be a point going towards Redeemer.
So it's a 6-point cushion now for Humber, and a big serve on the way from Leah Lammers.
Cholette, good first ball to Williscroft. She goes to Vanderwall, and Rachel Vanderwall does what she does best, gets another kill.
Second look here on the Hawks Sports Network. There's the set. And the block was partially there, but just too much on it from Vanderwall. And that'll give Humber, once again, the 7-point lead.
Zakari back at the service line. She had a great run to start the game. Kelly, great dive. Hit on the far side. Surratt not going to be able to find that one. Williscroft sets it to Bodner, goes across. It's kept up, punched around, and Redeemer can't keep it alive and get it over the net. 4 hits right there. Humber continue to inch ever so close to another 3-0 set count and another win on the season, trying to advance to 6-0.
Yeah, that hit was off the net, Zach, but still able to get it done.
Down the line, Lammers, she keeps that one in, and the point still goes the way of the Royals, so a little bit of a wipe of the sweat off the brow.
Yeah, it could have been the automatic point there, but Zach, I like it because the Royals, they still get the point, and they get a little bit of that mojo as well with the big net play beating the blockers of Humber. Let's see if they can parlay that into a little bit of juice here, trying to close the gap.
Avery Surratt finds it right there, hits it down the far left side.
That's huge. And Surratt by way of Barrie, Ontario with a gorgeous ace right there down the line.
Good dig right there by Cholette. Williscroft, a quick tip. And I mean, Kennedy Williscroft, so crafty.
Yeah, that was like a dart, just absolutely picking the sweet spot in that Redeemer defense. And Humber back on top here at the 20-point mark.
Vanderwall tips it off the net, right at the net it is. Stolte hits it to the back line. Zakari puts it up. Here goes Keeler. The soft hit, can't find anything. They go across to Annette. It gets blocked. Stolte there. Koksanowicz back set to Surratt.
Wow.
It's pushed over. How did that one get over the net?
Jim
Vanderwall
goes wild.
Annette down the line. Bodner gets to it. Zakari. And now it's Williscroft just putting it over.
This is the biggest rally of the match so
Back
far.
over to Annette. Cross court. Great dig. Keeler tried to keep it alive, but it goes around that pole. Wow. What a rally.
And it was really Humber that was a little scrambled eggs there, right? It was these desperation plays and so much heart to keep that rally alive. But ultimately, Redeemer able to kind of lean on the Hawks there for a hard-fought point.
Great dig again by Zakari. Keeler goes down and can't find the back line.
Close shot there, but no cigar as Redeemer doing a good job here late in the set. Zach, look at our replay. That was off target, so chance to keep chipping away right now.
Down the corner, it's still kept up. Hit over the net by Zakari. Lammers gets to it first. And the quick hit in the middle. Redeemer, they get the point right on back, and that's the other Lammers sister in Leah, who gets the kill. Her sister starts the play, and Leah puts it down. Stolte at the line. She's had a good little run here. Cholette, first ball to Williscroft. She goes across to Keeler, hits it off the net. And they're going on a little bit of a run, so Coach Wilkins says, got to put back in Hannah Manners.
So Stolte will have to wait a moment as, yes, Manners checks back in. Let's see if Hannah can help kind of put Humber back in the driver's seat. Good job by Redeemer making it close here. Oh, no. Looks like she stepped over the line, Zach. Something that your bowling buddies tell me that you're prone to do once or twice a game.
I've gotten better over the years. Last year was bad.
So self-inflicted wound will give the ball back to Humber.
Williscroft, good serve over. First ball, beautifully set. Lammers gets blocked. Klitsch and Bodner come through.
And Humber most certainly in the driver's seat right now as they are up. Score here officially 22-17, and Taya Wilkins will check into the game for Humber. And we saw this kind of towards the end of the second set, right? With the game just about on the line. Wilkins checking in for the serve. She pushed that one long. Let's see if the first-year player dials it in, learning from what we saw earlier in the game.
Hits it over, diving Surratt, tipped over, and the point comes across. Nobody was able to get there. Wilkins, Taya that is, one of 3 first-year players on this team. And how about that for your first year? You get a lot of veterans helping you out, get acclimated to the OCAA. Wilkins quickly to Bodner off the hands, and it's still kept up alive. They go to a net on the far side. She tips it. Diving is Wilkins. Great play by Taya. Lammers hammers it in the front of the net, puts it up. Manners puts it into the corner. Koksanowicz going back over at the wall, and Annette finally is able to hit it through that wall. Hits and drops down on the Hawks side. Redeemer, they have completely closed this gap.
Yeah. But they are still, they got to be a little walking on eggshells right now, Zach. 22-19 in favor of Humber. Do or die time now for the Royals.
Wilkins goes to Manners, and right off the net, 22-20 now.
Well, don't touch that dial. If it looked like this was going to be another decisive set victory for Humber, boy, we had another thing coming. Zach, every set Redeemer has improved, right? They scored 14 points in the opening set. I believe 18 in the second set. Now at that 20-point mark.
Cholette, good first ball to Wilkins. Or excuse me, to Williscroft, and then Williscroft gives it to Manners.
Yeah, that was Major League, and that is exactly what Humber needed here to kind of leave no doubt about this one. But there is still a glimmer of hope for the Royals as Manners puts the ball into play with the serve.
Koksanowicz, the back set to Annette, and that's a big point for the Royals because it gets Manners off of that service line. Rachel Annette going to the line to serve here, 23-21 total. Sailing, and that goes beyond, so match point for the Hawks, and it's Caroline Klitsch. Excuse me, looks like it's going to be Alex Shoega going to the line, and with the game on the line, the second-year player out of Saskatchewan.
Shout out.
Is going to try to put it to bed. To be more exact, Saskatoon is where she's from. That serve over. Good first ball. Koksanowicz goes across. Surratt gets blocked, and that's how the game ends. Humber 3-0. They continue their dominant ways. They advance to 18 set wins, 1 set loss, and they advance to 6-0 on the season.
And what a start to the season it has been, partner. And just the way they had hoped to come out here against the Royals, as Humber really just able to pick up another 3 straight sets victory. And Zach is certainly kind of heats the gym up a little bit, as this is only game 1 of our OCAA doubleheader here tonight. The men's team's getting set to take the court, but Zach, such a great performance here. Redeemer, give them credit. Every set, they got a little closer and a little closer, and you got to think maybe they look ahead to potentially another matchup against Humber later in the season. You could imagine this Redeemer team is going to be quite motivated. In fact, it'll be one of the first new games of the new year, Zach. Redeemer and Humber will be playing in Ancaster, a home game for Redeemer, on the 8th of January. So maybe they can continue their upward trajectory. That'll be a fun rematch to watch. But for now, Zach, Humber, another 3 straight sets dub.
Yep, and like you said, we're going to go to the men's side. So we'll just quickly listen to the player of the game just to see. And well, I think we're going to wait a minute there. But that will be it for the first game. Don't go anywhere. We have game 2. The men's teams are coming onto the court, and it should be another action-packed one. Go get yourself some water and then come right back here to HSN for some more volleyball action.